Good morning, passport holders. Today, January 29, 2018, making today day 1186 of the vlogs, if I'm doing my math right, which I'm like 90% sure that I am. 7 hours of sleep led into an early start this morning, which normal routine's kind of little slow because I slept a little funky. Neck hurt a little bit, and so it took a few extra minutes in the shower to try and loosen it up, all that good fun. But did get started, was at the treadmill desk running or working. At that point by 7:45, so that was rad. Got a cup of tea in as well, so like kind of was a nice little like mix between like, okay, cool, wake up and run versus or get going on my day versus like having a little bit of time to ease into it. 20-minute meditation session, ready to rock. Since then, though, it's been busy. In the last 3 hours, I have completed 3 videos, top to bottom, gotten all those taken care of. Got Yoga with Adrian's True 29 from Chris. He supposedly is sending through 30 as well. I got an email from him about 15 minutes ago saying, hey, I'm uploading it. And he said basically like 30 is a joke. It's basically the intro music and one statement from Adrian, and then there's nothing more. I'll believe it when I see it, but I do believe it. It's Chris. He and I have worked together tremendously. He's already said, hey, send over an invoice as soon as you got it. So of course I'm going to do that. I'm going to make it happen. And so I will sit there and make that all happen on my side. Hopefully tonight I'll get 29 done and 30 done, get those taken care of, and then we can move on to the next item, which is basically invoicing him, getting cash back, and calling it a day, or allowing me to charge the credit card that I already have on file for him, just to make life simple. So away from that, Dan Martell's video is done. 2 of the prospective client videos are done. I've got 2 more ready and locked and loaded. I've just got to do those. I'm going to try and get both of those done in the next hour before Clintus's video drops. Once Clintus's video drops, I'm going to take care of that. Then I'm going to take care of Yoga with Adrian 29. And my hope is that I can do that and then get to the prospective client's video that's going to be released today, this afternoon. Tends to be like in the afternoon somewhere, right? It can be anywhere from 2 to 5 p.m. my time. So we'll see kind of when that drops. I may do that one as well, because, the more valid data that I have, the better my tools are going to perform, and I can show them the benefit of working with me is not just relying on the community to do their closed captions, but actually that we not only produce a superior captioning product, but that we can do all these other additional things, right? My open caption engine, my search engine, and with a lot of changes that are happening inside of their company, that search engine could be clean. It could be a clean tool for that team to use, and we've seen it with the VaynerMedia guys. I'm still seeing traffic on a daily basis from VaynerMedia for the captioning videos, the caption videos that I did for them, because they haven't maintained their own search engine at the Ask Gary V search engine. So it's kind of one of those funny things where I'm loving it in a weird way that utility is still being used by the VaynerMedia guys, but it does also lend credence to the fact that what I've created is ultimately useful when you have a distributed team of researchers and editors and video production assistants and everything else to find content very quickly. So I'm going to jump back on the treadmill desk though and get to work. And I hope you guys are having a fantastic Monday as this is being recorded, a great Tuesday if you're watching on day of release. And yeah, the blinds are open. I got the sun shining in. It's a good Monday here. Let's get today started. 1:40 at this point, and I'm finishing up Clintus's captions next, final review, all that good stuff. And then I'm going to try and sneak in the final review on the final back catalog piece for the prospective client. Get that done. My target is before 3 o'clock to get that all finished up. Since an hour and 20 minutes makes sense on the timelines of everything. And then at that point, I've got an hour to work on the Yoga with Adrian episode, which came through 29. That's 25 minutes. My hope is to get about 50 to 60% of that all transcribed, ready to rock. And then prospective client should release his video somewhere around there. I want to take care of that and then finish out Yoga with Adrian in its entirety, and then call it a day. I'm pretty pumped about that, all things said and done. Like I said, my target is to have everything done by 7 p.m. and I think I'm going to actually pull it off. I may not get any time before 7 p to do any job applications or anything else, but I'm not too worried about that today because today is a big money day. It is a day for me to chase down all this stuff and make it all kind of happen as a bigger piece of things. So I'm excited about it. I'm pumped about where things are going and continuing to make all this work kind of happen. So all things said and done, it's a winner, and I'm just ready to get this work done. Quick break here in the head hammock converted from better back, all that good fun. Sorry that I don't have the lens, it's up on the desk over there, but did want to let you guys know that I did receive an email from a company that was looking for a high-level strategist for web and social. And as I've said before, those are the kinds of roles, especially like where it's very clear that they're looking for somebody who's much more of an offensive coordinator to create large strategy, and then kind of outline the deliverables, and then hand that off to, break it up and hand it off to the people that need to be actually executing that. Like that kind of delegation and process and workflow is something that I think I'd be very, very good at, and at the end of the day, I think could be very interesting for them and for me. So they did reach out. We will be having an interview next week, which I am super pumped about. Again, this is like 2.5 miles, 2 miles around the corner, depending upon which route I take. And so, it's just one more thing that's in the mix, one more thing that's positive, and one more thing on the schedule before things move forward. So I'm pumped. Who knows? Just takes one yes. Man, does this feel good to stretch out my neck like this before I go into the next caption review. My break for the Bachelor US is over. It's 9 p.m., but where are we at? The answer is that I have 12 minutes left on a final video, and I will have cleared the entire board, including all spec work and everything else. So I'll be good to go to begin to work on the search engine inputs, and then prepping a deck effectively and prepping assets for the spec client that I've been working on the past 4 or 5 days. Additionally, I think I'm going to make a couple of changes to some of the open caption engine. I was thinking about it more and more and thinking that there may be an additional way for me to make things simpler for myself. In particular, because this creator's style and the editor's style is to use the full frame. And one of the tricks that we created when I was working with Gary in order to create the 1080 by 1080 square Facebook video with the open captions was to actually zoom into about 120% so that you get this good banner across the top and good banner across the bottom. And that's going to prove to be an issue with the way their stuff is produced right now. It has to stay in a very hard 16 by 9, or it has to stay in a 16 by 9 area. It can't be zoomed in because there are a bunch of graphics and things that happen around this creator, and if you zoom in, you'll cut them off in frame. So I'm thinking of interesting and alternative ways for me to make that happen. And I think that one of the things that could be is to zoom in at certain points, zoom back out at others, but always provides relative context. And with the way that I've built things right now, it's these very nice 1080 by 200 high sections across the top and across the bottom, and it works really well. But I can't do that in this scenario, so I have to be smart about kind of how I hide that. And so I think that I need to create something that will actually underlay that entire layer, which is a different ballgame, but it's one of these things where it's just one more thing that I'm thinking of. And again, I create this once, I can then use it for all of my clients going forward, which is super cool. So I'm going to throw in on that, and then I may actually pick up an episode of The Bachelor NZ in order to wind down, since I've only got about an hour's worth of work on this video in order to get the transcription done and the final review done, since it's just, it's a Yoga with Adrian video. It's simple enough to be able to finish and get done and get it out the door, since there's a single speaker and she speaks pretty slowly. So I'm going to try and finish that up and make that all happen. So I'm going to make that happen now. Alright guys, 11:15 at this point, and I actually just finished Yoga with Adrian day 29. I still have yet to get day 30 from Chris, but apparently it's like it has been every year, where it's kind of like a visual situation. So there's like a 90-second, 2-minute intro, and then the music, and then there's just music underneath the entire, 40 minutes that it is. Maybe some words at the very, very end, but normally not even that. So it should be a pretty simple one for me to handle tomorrow. Additionally, I'm not going to be racing through 6 or 7 videos like I did today, which is rad. So I'm going to take some extra time tonight. I'm tired, but I'm obviously have been wound up and working. So I'm going to watch at least half an episode of Bachelor NZ and have a cup of sleepy time tea, try and knock me out. And additionally, I am going to set my alarm for somewhere, I think around the 7:15 zone, in order to let me try and sleep in just a little bit.
since I have done so much work today and I'm in such a good spot, and there have been so many good things that have happened behind the scenes that some of which I could talk about. Obviously, getting that interview next week is a big one. Obviously, an interview later this week as well on Thursday is a win. And so it's kind of one of these things where I just kind of want to sit on the sidelines and kind of enjoy that a little bit right now. And yeah, just kind of let me sleep in tomorrow, because tomorrow's going to be another big day. I'm going to get a lot more of these pieces in place to make multiple email pitches and all kinds of good stuff happen this week. A couple phone calls as well. So I'm excited. But thank you guys so much for your time, your attention, your understanding. These things all mean a great deal to me. And remember, you never stumble upon opportunity by standing still. So go do cool stuff. Bye for now.